Hello and welcome to the AI Experience News Roundup. Here's a look at the latest headlines and key developments in the world of AI, all in under 10 minutes.
If you think about what happened from GPT-3 to 3.5 to 4, it just got smarter.
The field became known as artificial intelligence.
Can machines really think?
Should parents still post photos of their kids online in the age of artificial intelligence? A New York Times article brings this whole debate back to life. Since the early days of Facebook and Instagram, parents have worried about the risk of what's often called sharenting, sharing family photos on social media. But now, AI apps that can generate fake nudes have changed the situation completely. These so-called nudifiers are easy to use, available to anyone, and already popular among teenagers, with traumatic consequences for the people targeted. What's striking is that the problem no longer affects only celebrities or public figures. Today, any photo posted online can be misused, especially those of children. And even though a recent US law makes it illegal to publish these fake photos, the sites offering these services are still running and making millions of dollars. This article also highlights another risk. Beyond deepfakes, every photo you share online contains clues: your child's birthday, where they live, their routines. Put together, this information can fuel identity theft. Between 2021 and 2024, the number of children who became victims of identity theft in the US went up by 40%. In the end, the journalist asks a simple question: what's the real benefits for parents? Sure, it lets you share memories with friends and family, but in reality, it's the platforms that profit by collecting even more data. This issue matters because it shows a central paradox in our digital lives: the line between what we believe we are sharing for ourselves and how technology can exploit the same content far beyond what we intended. And with generative AI, that line is becoming not only blurrier, but also far more dangerous. What if the video games you're waiting for this fall were already co-created by AI? A Reuters article reports on a Google study showing that nearly 90% of video game developers now use AI agents in their work. It's no longer about just experimenting with a new tool for fun. AI has become a central part of game development. Developers use it to automate repetitive tasks, speed up testing and balancing, translate dialogue, and even generate code. What's even more surprising is that more than a third of the studios are now using AI for creative work, designing levels, writing dialogue, animating characters, etc. In other words, AI isn't just saving time, it's starting to shape the stories and the worlds inside the game themselves. These numbers also take on a different meaning when we remember the recent social climate. Last year, video game actors in Hollywood went on strike over AI and pay issues. At the same time, studios shut down and more than 10,000 people lost their jobs. So AI adoption is accelerating at a very moment where the industry is questioning the value of creative work, the protection of talent, and how productivity gains are shared. So why does this matter? Because it shows a real shift in the industry. On one side, studios are using AI to handle complexity and rising costs by offloading time-consuming tasks. On the other, actors, writers, technicians, and voice performers are redefining their rights in front of tools they can generate, transform, and multiply digital assets. This is not just about efficiency, it's about a new deal for creative work at the age of AI agents. How do you want your AI to talk to you? That's the question raised in an article from the MIT Technology Review. And it's also the dilemma facing Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, after the launch of GPT-5. Should an AI flatter us, even if that risks creating dangerous illusions? Should it try to fix us, acting like a kind of digital therapist despite its clear limits? Or should it stick to giving cold, precise information, even if that feels a little bit too boring? For now, OpenAI seems unable to pick just one path. We've already seen that problem earlier this year. One update made ChatGPT too flattering, and much of the users complained it felt like a machine built to hand up compliments. That version was pulled, GPT-5 tried to swing the other way, becoming more distant, but that coldness immediately triggered a wave of criticism. The result, Altman promised a version that would be warmer but less annoying. Behind this back and forth, another reality is clear. Some people use ChatGPT as a confidant, even as a companion. Altman admits that happens, though he insists it's only a small minority. But research from Hugging Face suggests otherwise. Their studies show that most big models like Google, Microsoft, Anthropic, and OpenAI often encourage users to see them as companions. And the more personal and emotional the questions are, the more the AI tends to validate users' feelings. even when those feelings are based on something false or distorted. This is where the line between help and manipulation becomes blurry. An AI that says, "I'm here for you anytime," can create attachment. But if that attachment takes people away from real human relationships or feeds delusional spirals, then the responsibility for the designers is enormous. And for now, OpenAI seems to want to do it all: flatter, comfort, and inform, while burning millions of dollars each day just to keep its model running. How can luxury shopping stay personal at the age of AI? That's the question raised in a Vogue business article where Emily Essner, President and Chief Commercial Officer at Saks Global, explains the company's bold strategy, reinventing high-end shopping through AI-powered personalization. Instead of showing every visitor the same storefront, each Saks.com homepage now changes in real time, almost like a personal letter to each customer. Machine learning analyzes in what people click on, what they hover on, and what they buy in order to create a truly tailored experience. Here's how it works. Algorithms adjust the homepage instantly. Product recommendations, editorial content, even the order in which items appear. Soon, ads too will be based on personal taste. On top of that, data science models predict the shopper's next move, deciding which brand, product, or category to show first. But this is a challenge. How do you measure test? Are our preferences really our own, or are they shaped by what we've already been shown? Saks is betting that tracking every detail, every click, every skip, every purchase, the system will over time uncover what people truly want to see. The early numbers are strong. After a gradual rollout, revenue per visitor is up 7% and conversion rates are improved by nearly 10%. Proof that even online, luxury shopping still carries emotional weight when it feels personal. And this is only the beginning. Essner says the personalization strategy will expand across Saks Global's other platforms, and eventually into physical stores too, with stylist and customer apps creating the same sense of tailor-made service. What if walking into church meant first passing through a facial recognition gate? That's how an article in the MIT Technology Review begins. The themes are hypothetical, but they reflect real technologies now spreading across American churches. Biometric cameras, databases of worshipers, and algorithms that can profile and target people using data from health records, shopping habits, and social media. At the center of the system is Glue, a company founded in Colorado in 2013. Its promise? To give pastors a dashboard of their community, like a spiritual version of Salesforce. In practice, Glue collects thousands of data points: attendance, donations, words used in online prayer requests, group signups, and third-party data like consumer habits or health risks. All of this is scored and segmented to trigger targeted messages, donation appeals, or pastoral follow-ups. In 10 years, Glue has signed contracts with more than 100,000 churches and raised $110 million. With the former CEO of Intel now serving as executive chair and head of technology, the company presents itself as the hub of a growing faith ecosystem, powered by generative AI, religious chatbots, spiritual well-being standards, and behavioral data. Supporters say these tools modernize ministry, helping pastors care for people in need, anticipate problems, translate a sermon into multiple languages just minutes after it was delivered, or even detect new residents in a neighborhood for a personal welcome. But critics, especially civil liberties advocates, see a deeper problem. What happens to spiritual privacy when faith is managed like a marketing funnel? Investigations have shown the systems can even target people who are grieving, depressed, or in family crisis, pushing them towards religious groups in ways that blur the line between pastoral care, proselytizing, and commercial exploitation. And all of this is happening in a legal gray zone in the US, where only a handful of states' laws put limits on biometric surveillance. This debate goes beyond religion itself. It shows how AI and data are reaching into the most intimate spaces of human life, where many people expect absolute privacy. For some, it looks like a spiritual revolution, the digital heir of the printing press. For others, it's a tsunami of surveillance that threatens the very idea of a sacred place. That's a wrap on this week's AI News Roundup. Join me every Sunday for a new episode in English or in French, packed with expert interviews on the front lines of the AI revolution. For my French-speaking listeners, head over to the show AI Experience en Français on your favorite podcast platform. And if you liked what you heard, I'd really appreciate those 5-star ratings. Talk to you soon.